Ready, start?
We start, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good evening all. Members were present here and also on the webinar on the hybrid model. So it's our privilege to start this webinar on the role of SIDBI in Economic Group of India. And we have our distinguished guest, Mr. Satyaki Rastogi, recently elevated Chief General Manager and Regional Head, SIDBI, Bangalore. I would request the President to formally welcome the gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, sir, for your time today.
Thanks a lot for inviting us.
And really, it's a pleasure on behalf of Bangalore Chamber of Commerce to welcome all of you. And first of all, congratulate you.
Thank
you. Thank you. Excellent Chief General Manager. It's a great honor for us and nice to meet you today in person. In fact, BCIC, we got 850 members in our group. It has got both OEMs like Toyota, Volvo, TVS, and many education institutions, many startups, and many MSMEs. And focus is the growth of India and growth of all of us depends upon how we can support end-to-end in terms of MSMEs, in terms of their quality, in terms of financial, whatever is requirement, we are trying to work along with them. And we find that the growth is going to be extremely high in India. And not only OEMs, the other manufacturers should come in any factor, maybe in pharmaceutical, in any health industry. I think the core is end-to-end, both on the supplier side or the extended partner, and to the dealer and to the education institution. So we are trying to make into a 360-degree workout in our Bangalore Chamber of Commerce. And we have something like more than 250 seminars in a year, almost one seminar, almost alternative, or almost every day. Today, we have one more seminar happening parallelly along with this.
It's happening in the other room.
So we feel that we like to understand more from SIDBI. I know SIDBI definitely are an independent financial institution. You're trying to give a lot of contribute significantly to the national economy in terms of exports, working capital assistance, energy saving schemes, many schemes. I think we'll listen more from you, and skill support. So we would like to link along with our MSME committees to financial committees and see how we can take this further, how we can share many of your policies which will help, and how to make Karnataka great in terms of taking Karnataka as the gateway for future India. So that's the role which we like to play. And we have another thing going on in the month of March. We have the World Trade Center, something like more than 100 bodies are coming to Karnataka, to Bangalore. And we also want to make many areas of importance to Karnataka and ensure that there are more collaboration, more working towards business in Karnataka and definitely in India. So that's the one. And then with BCIC and Japan, we have a small scale industries workout with Japanese steel, which is government funded there. It's called as SMRG, small and medium scale industries in Japan. And there are a lot of interaction with them in terms of quality, how we can work with them. So with this, sir, I think welcome once again. And Jairam is our chair of our expert committee of MSME. And a lot of people are participating online. Welcome every one of you. And very privileged to meet you in person and listen to you in activities of SIDBI. Thank you all.
Thank you, President. Now, before introducing for the day, I would just set the platform or context. BCIC is a body which caters various service, and it's a facilitator among various cross-domain industries. So we have more than 30 expert committees almost. So how the expert committees can synergize with SIDBI is the agenda today. And we have the expert here who can give his oversight on how SIDBI is playing a very important role in the growth of economic growth of India. And how do we approach SIDBI? What are the methods and how MSME segment, now the Port Committee Chair is also here, Jayaraman. So he will also be able to raise some questions. And as we know, SIDBI is also managing few government programs. So that area also, if you can touch upon. So these are the main takeaways for us. And I would request Mr. Shyam to introduce the chief guest.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, and it is a privilege to introduce Mr. Satyaki Rastogi. Satyaki Rastogi is an engineering graduate from National Institute of Technology, Calicut. Currently, Mr. Rastogi is serving as the Chief General Manager and Regional Head, Bangalore SIDBI. He joined SIDBI as Assistant Manager in 1994. We are happy to announce that Mr. Rastogi has been promoted as Chief General Manager SIDBI just few days back. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We congratulate Mr. Rastogi. Prior to this, he also headed the Chennai region for 2 years. He also spearheaded the policy initiatives taken by SIDBI to re-energize its direct credit business as an integral part of the direct credit vertical team in the past few years. The role of required business process re-engineering, making the operations business friendly, forging new partnerships, introduction of new products, as well as to make the finance cost effective for MSMEs. He has also been associated with the initiative of the bank to make its direct lending operations fully digital, including digital execution of loan documents and drafting policy related to the same. Satyaki Rastogi also served as Chief Vigilance Officer of State Bank of Travancore for a period of 2 years from 2015 to 2017. He also holds the nominee directorship on the boards of Kerala Financial Corporation, Karnataka State Financial Corporation KSFC, Ujjivan Small Finance Bank Limited, and FinCare Business Services Limited. His major experience is in the field of direct lending to MSMEs and stressed assets and NPA management. Thank you, sir. I welcome once again for this.
Thank you. Thank you.
So on to you.
Sir, thanks a lot, Devarajan sir, and the esteemed members of the committee, BCIC. And it is really a privilege for me, for you to have provided me this platform to interact with you and share about my organization and how we have evolved as an organization and what we are doing for the MSMEs, and not only just MSMEs in terms of financing, but for their development, for their promotion, for getting new initiatives to them, for making ease of finance very for them. So I have a small presentation. If we can have the presentation. So SIDBI, as SIDBI was set up in 1990 and by an act of parliament. And our mandate given by Government of India was not financing. Financing was just a part of our mandate. We were asked to promote, finance and develop MSMEs and also coordinate with any institution that is involved in this activity. So we started in 1990 and we have now grown to a 5 lakh crore balance sheet. We started with some 3,000 crore balance sheet size. So we are a 5 lakh crore balance sheet size company now. We were given an initial capital of 450 crore by Government of India, and till date we haven't taken any more money from Government of India. Right now some things are in discussion, but hasn't yet come. And without Government India's any monetary intervention in that terms, in terms of capital, today we are, while we have done whatever we have done that I will be talking about, we are a 25,000 crore net worth company, net worth organization. And after with doing what we feel we were made to do. So we have done that. I'll elaborate that. So next slide. So this is our shareholding pattern where Government of India directly holds around 21%, and SBI, LIC and NABARD are other large shareholders. Other than that, there are smaller shareholders coming from financial institutions and banks. Our board comprises of 15 members, out of which 3 are whole-time directors and nominees from Government of India, from the shareholders. And we co-opt 4 directors, independent directors, which what it means is board is very diversified and very independent in decision making. So that's the quality which drives the organization towards taking proactive decisions for the MSMEs.
Better than open AI. There's no owner directors.
So we are quite autonomous. While we have a lot of guidance from Government of India, we work under the Government of India, but there is tremendous independence of functioning as an institution.
IDBI is not holding an issue.
IDBI has, when IDBI was going through bad phase during the 2015 to 2020 period, they have diluted their equity, they sold it.
But it was a subsidiary.
We were a subsidiary of
Yeah, yeah.
IDBI. We became in 2000, we became independent. So IDBI, we became, but they were holding around 16% shares still, which they offloaded at some time in the last decade.
IDBI was a part of you. SIDBI, yes.
We were a part of it. That way they still remain part of us, but we were a part of IDBI. We inherited from IDBI mainly because from the MSME side, there always used to be a complaint to the government when IDBI was there that IDBI only takes care of large industries and there's nobody for us. So that's when we were carved out. And we were carved out primarily as a refinancing institution. So next slide. If you look at while we started as a refinancing institution, that is the second part, institutional financing. Today we have gone into so much of areas. So we do directly lending now also. We are one of the institution, or I would claim that SIDBI is an institution which developed the microfinancing industry itself. So there would be hardly any other examples in the entire world where a bank or a financial institution has set up a industry itself. SIDBI is, I will elaborate that when I come to it. We are into venture capital and we are the first institutions probably to get into venture capital in the late 90s, in the mid 90s, and a lot of government programs. We are now working with the Government of India with funds coming from government, where we are doing tremendous work on cluster development. Green financing is something that we started again way back in 2010, 2011. Skill development, enterprise creation, guaranteeing. Credit guarantee is something that we started way back in 2000, and credit rating for MSMEs. This is also an initiative that we took in early 2000s, late 90s in fact. So the organization called SMERA with Dun & Bradstreet, now it is called Equity Ratings. So Equity Rating is something promoted by us, and that's where the concept of SME rating came.
It's a CMR rating which we get from.
That's coming
by you or it from CIBIL?
That's coming from CIBIL.
CIBIL.
But we have developed another rating with CIBIL now. It's supported by us. We haven't developed by CIBIL and an organization called Online Loans, OPL. OPL is also our subsidiary. Not exactly a subsidiary, but promoted by us along with PSBs. So we have developed, in consultation with us, they have developed another rank, which is called FIT ranking. That is also now slowly getting accepted by the industry. We are using it in a very large way, but slowly getting accepted by the industry. So next slide, Adit. This is our journey. So what we have done is we've divided into decades initially, then slowly in a smaller time frame. If you look at in our infancy when we were a refinancing institution and we were not too much into directly lending and other things, we started with bill discounting and equity support, microfinance, and skill development, entrepreneurship development program. So those things we started in the 90s. But late 90s, we realized that we need to do much more than just doing these things. We started supporting the startup ecosystem, venture capital ecosystem, trade guarantee. So we floated this organization called CGTMSE along with Government of India. From the corpus support 500 crore from our side and 2,000 crore coming from the Government of India. Today, CGTMSE is has guaranteed loans more than 30 lakh crore till now, and I think more than 30 lakh entities have got.
CGTMSE is promoted by you, is it?
Yeah, by us, along with Government of India, Ministry of MSME, where corpus is 1/5 from our side, 4/5 coming from the government side, but totally managed by us. So CEO there has all through been a SIDBI. So even now, my counterpart CGM, Mr. Sandeep Verma, heads it. And we made it absolutely digitally run with API integrations with all the banks, no manual intervention. So that's the way we have developed it. SMERA as equity ratings now. This in late 90s we've done and backseat. We came with the concept of SME rating because without SME rating, the other financiers were not getting the comfort of funding MSMEs, especially those days when the information availability was not much. Then in the 2010s, the last decade, we started with the Mudra program. So Mudra is also an organization set up by us. Government scheme of a Stand Up India, Startup India, everything that we were financing. Then we set up the receivable exchange along with MSE, RXIL. Today, it's one of the 4 trades platforms that is functional in this country. And RXIL, our platform is, I think, the 3rd largest as of now. And this we are running with NSE.
What does Excel stand for?
RX, receivable exchange. X is for exchange. X is for exchange.
Oh.
Receivable Exchange of India Limited, RXII. So this runs a trades platform, that is trade receivables and discounting. That's a trades platform. In the late 2010s, that is 2018 onwards, we realized that now things are changing, that entire lending ecoscope, this ecospace is changing. So we need to go digital. So that's when we all formed, along with SBI and 4 more other banks, we formed a consortium and promoted PSB, online PSB loans, OPL, which is about PSB loans in 59 minutes. So this rode on data available in the public domain and from the original sources. So GST, ITR, bank statements. So it would take those data and it would run on the business rule engine. And within 1 hour, once you upload this from the source data, not from what you have, you will get a limit. You will get a in principle approval with telling you what is the quantum of loan, which bank is willing to give you at what rate. And then there was an offline process in which the banks will go through the other due diligence part, extended due diligence, and then they will do. So this PSB loans in 59 minutes is largely used by banks today for working capital renewals. Totally. So most of the working capital renewals by all the public sector banks and even private sector banks is being done using this platform. PSB loans.
Is it also linked to SMERA?
No, it's not linked to SMERA is a separate, SMERA is a rating.
The rating can be updated periodically based on this digital input.
We'll take it up. That's a very good suggestion.
ML, like continued updation of the
Continued updation of the limit. Yes. So we are one of the major role is development of MSMEs and development of entrepreneurship, skill development. So we are running a very large Swavalamban program. And in this Swavalamban program, we look at skill development, we look at entrepreneurship development, we look at providing market linkages, we look at providing all other inputs that are required. So taking them to design studios, giving them modern access to modern technology. And these we are not talking about larger MSMEs, but we are talking about the smallest, the nano enterprises. So those kinds of enterprises for this, we have today having associations with large, all the.
Secondly, we should also know now.
Right, sorry. So we are having association and partnerships with premier institutions in this bank. A lot of fintechs, all the major or smaller NGOs that are working in the field. So we try to ride on competence of everybody so that we get the result that is desired. So that's what we are doing through Mission Swawalamban. Under this, we are also running a Swawalamban Silai school, which is skill development, and that's being run by Single. Stitching. Stitching. But we are behind that. Then we run a very good, this is a Prayas program. Just a minute. Yeah. So Vishesh, kuch urgent hai? So sorry. So this Prayas program, it's a program which partner with NBFCs and non-NBFCs also, non-financial entities also, where we are giving loans from 50,000 to 5 lakh, using them as correspondent. And these loans are booked in our books. And this is fully automated, digitally run program. So no manual intervention. Yes. We've developed an app, and these entities, they just use the app. Today, with this, we are having more than 1,000 smaller loans being sanctioned on a daily basis using this Prayas program. And this we have already scaled up to something around 2,000 crore value outstanding today. And our target is to take it to 20,000 crore in the next 2 years. So this Prayas program was started in around 2018. Then today our even direct lending operations, where we are giving loans up to even 50 crores, are fully digitized, what we call as end-to-end digitization. So right from origination to recovery, everything is digitized, including documentation. So documentation, except where mortgage is involved, or the states, there are still some states in India which have not allowed digital documentation as per the IT Act. So they are yet to adopt. So those states who have not adopted, barring that, I think in 18 states, we have already started digital documentation. So that if the borrower is sitting at his home, I am sitting in my office, the documentation is done. Except for creating a mortgage, for which we require to have, or wherever the company requires to have a common seal clause. So the common seal clause, we still.
But common seal has been done away with.
Yeah. But still many people have not changed their article of association. So if their article of association says common seal has to be put, then correct. We are left with no.
Om Prakash to know.
So many of them have not changed their article of association. So wherever it is
not aware about.
Yeah. So that's sustainability and environment friendly manufacturing practices. That's a very important aspect today. Very important aspect today. Next, we have cluster development. Where Government of India has given us fund. We are working with more than 10 states now, where we have funded infrastructure projects. Digitally, as I said, today we have developed new apps. FitRank, I spoke about. CGTMSC, I have spoken about. GST Sahay is one invoice discounting app. Like we are talking about, TREDS is a receivable where the MSMEs finance, the MSMEs supply to the large companies. So trades by large companies have to register, and it's a without recourse invoice financing. GST Sahay, what we've done is it's a GST enabled MSMEs. They can have invoice discounting facilities with recourse. And this is also totally app run. This has been developed under the RBI sandbox. Today, in October last, it has been approved by the RBI as to put it into commercial use production. So it has already been implemented by SIDBI. 8 or 9 public sector banks are now going to use this GST Sahay and develop their own applications. So this will be the base for them, and they will develop their own applications. They're white labeling on this GST Sahay. So it's going to be a game changer for people who do not have working capital facilities, but they have GST enabled invoices. And this will draw entirely from the GST database. It's going to be a very good thing in the future. So this is about our journey that we've done till now. We have 96 branch offices and 11 regional offices. One of them is in Bangalore, which I head as of now. And with 8 branches, Bangalore RO comprises Karnataka, Kerala, Goa. So put together, we have 8 branches and we are opening 3 more, one in Belgaum and one in Karnataka, and Belgaum and Bangalore, we are opening 2 more branches. Next.
Don't have office abroad.
No, we don't have international operations. So this is the story of our growth. If we see in the last 2 years, how we have grown from an outstanding portfolio in the direct lending to from 11,000 crores, we've grown to 18,000 crores. We are now at around 21,000 crore in the present year itself by now. Similarly, our overall balance sheet from 1,56,000 crore has grown to 3,56,000 crore, and is in September we ended at around 4,57,000 crore balance sheet size.
In 2 years.
In 2 years, we've been extremely aggressive.
Yeah, very
Extremely aggressive. In that, if you can have sanctions from 96,000 crore have gone up to 2,81,000 crore to 281. Disbursements have gone up at least 3-4. But still, the majority of the portfolio comprises refinance. Next slide, Aditya.
Almost 80%, 85% is only refinance.
94%.
94%.
Next slide.
Yeah.
So 94% of portfolio is still refinance to banks, but this refinance involves a very large ecosystem.
Refinancing goes to the bank.
It's not only banks, it is to NBFCs, it is to MFIs. So it's actually, we are through refinance and directly lending, we are catering to roughly around 15% of the MSME sector totally in India, and our target is to take it to 25% by 2026. Our micro lending, I've spoken about that. So direct lending now today, what we are doing, direct lending, we are using digital data points and trying to lend. So we have a scheme called Express Loans, where for our existing customers, if they want an equipment finance, machinery finance, we are giving loans up to 2 crore, and just on the basis of 3 data, GST, ITR, and bank statement, in 30 minutes, we will give you a sanction. So it's a totally digitized, digital decision making, no manual intervention. There's a business rule engine. You qualify for it, you get it. You don't qualify it, you don't get it. If you don't get it, that doesn't mean that we are not going to take it up. But we'll have to take it through the manual system. So this digital initiative, which we started sometime in early this year, 2023. Today, I think we've done around 600 loans across India, where we've given loans in 30 minutes. In Bangalore, how many we've done, Aditya?
In Bangalore also, we have done around 10 cases.
10 cases we've done, where loans have been sanctioned in 30 minutes. Then we carry out a visit the same day, look at the facilities, because we don't know if people will apply online and if they qualify. So we carry out a visit the same day. And the next day we do the documentation and disbursement. Money is ready for disbursement if there.
This is for the term loan only, sir, or for
Only for term loan, only for equipment finance, only for machinery, purchasing machinery, nothing else. Not for building, not for land.
not for CC limit also?
Not for CC, not for CC. But we are trying to develop a product which will, for working capital, which will work on the similar algorithms. But it will take time. It's under.
There you don't see the ratings.
Even there, that fit rank I was talking about. So it uses the fit rank, and it it has its internal rating structure. And based on that only interest rate will be.
What is the band of the interest?
कितना आदित्य? Interest rate band क्या है?
Band.
And it lies between 8.5 to 9.5% based on the rating.
So it's linked to MCLR.
MCLR.
Okay.
So today most of the lending that we do is MCLR linked. Our MCLR today is
8.2, sir.
8.2.
2 years MCLR, right?
1 year MCLR.
1 year.
1 year MCLR. So our 1 year MCLR is 8.2. Yeah. Presently. So that changes every month.
Yeah, it changes.
It changes every month.
MCLR.
So I think this month it is 8.2. Next.
Where do you get the funds from? Sorry.
Okay. Funds.
Government.
Our own funds.
That much.
We have a 25,000 crore net worth. So that is our own funds. Then we get some funds which are priority sector lending shortfall of public sector and private sector banks. So that RBI and Government of India mandates that money has to be placed with SIDBI.
Mostly foreign banks and private banks.
So even public sector banks, they don't.
They also.
So many of them fail to achieve their priority sector lending targets. So whatever is the shortfall in that targets, if it is agri, that money goes to NABARD. And if it is MSME shortfall, it comes to SIDBI. So that money we get at a comparatively cheaper rate. So these are the two major source of funds that we have. Over and above that, we have our own market borrowings. So we go into the market, borrow the money. We get international lines of credit. So it will coming from multilateral agencies like World Bank, ADB, and KfW from Germany, OECD from Japan, and even DFID UK. So we have lots of institutional international multilateral agencies also, but those funds are very small and very specific purpose. So that's our source of funds. Our average cost of borrowing may be slightly higher than the public sector bank because we don't have CASA.
Current account.
So we don't have CASA. And because of that average cost of borrowing, but still I can claim with, with conviction that our lending rates are still competitive. May not be the best, but one amongst the best.
So by this, you have also almost disincentivized the banks to lend to SMEs.
But why?
Because it's safer to put the money instead of lending to SMEs directly and taking the risk.
We are ourselves.
I put the money in and I get it.
I'll tell you something which we are ourselves doing to disincentivize ourselves and incentivize them to lend. Means it will increase their priority sector lending. But see, if they don't lend, at least we lend.
But do you have a target to lend as percentage of your total funds received?
We have a target.
If you don't reach that target, then what do you do with your funds? You give it to somebody?
We normally we achieve the targets.
BCIC, yeah.
We achieve the target. But we have our treasury operations. Some money is always deployed in the treasury operations. We invest also. Some amount of money will always, whatever is not, but our targets we normally achieve. We normally achieve. The surplus funds that we have, we deploy in investments.
Can we take up the questions later?
Yeah, let's finish.
I think continue next.
You'll forget otherwise. What?
Right. So this is our direct lending portfolio.
Very good, Gurutha.
So
11, 14, 18.
Says growth has come, was very stagnant in the early 2010s. So 2010 to 2017, we were not only stagnant, but we were losing customers. Then we reoriented our entire portfolio. We moved towards digitization. We simplified our processes.
Response time.
Today, as I said, today our turnaround time generally is, if it is equipment finance, I'm not talking about entirely digital process, even which involves some kind of manual intervention. A very less manual intervention is required, but our turnaround times for a machine loan would be as low as 4 days to 5 days. And if it is a project loan involving land, building, plant and machine, which requires very detailed appraisal, are still turnaround times is less than 30 days.
No.
And we have a very
By time you get
very
a
centralized structure
say parallel.
where the powers are given to regional offices, even branch offices. So like regional office headed by a GM, which I was heading, has powers up to 20 crore. So up to 20 crore
For MSMEs.
for MSMEs.
Super, I see.
So in that case, the decision-making process is highly decentralized. And because of that, the results, we have seen the results which are reflecting here. In Karnataka, in the last 2 years, we have doubled our portfolio. In Karnataka itself, from 500 crore to roughly around 1,000 crore.
Direct lending.
Direct lending. And with the added, I will say, icing on the cake is we do not have any concern on our portfolio. We have less than 1% NPAs.
Oh.
So that is the kind of underwriting skills that we deploy.
You don't have section 29 of a SFC.
We have section 38 of SIDBI Act.
Section
38 of SIDBI Act.
is equivalent.
It's equivalent. We have SARFACI. But we don't need to resort to that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That our customer selection
It's good.
and our underwriting processes are so good. And the biggest, I will say, testimonial to our underwriting processes that all your private sector lenders, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, Axis Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, they are running behind SIDBI customers to take over.
Oh.
So the fact that I've been practicing in NCLT, I've not seen SIDBI as a financial.
Okay, now
All of the back.
getting to what is the NPA percentage?
My gross NPA would be somewhere around 2%, and net NPA would be less than 1% in my direct lending portfolio. We had faced the problem. I will not say that we are like that always.
Is it because of good selection?
Probably, yeah. That's what I'm saying. We've developed our underwriting skills. We've done the run through a very bad phase where our NPAs had gone up to 14%, 15%, gross NPAs had gone up to more than 10%. That is the phase we started, reviewing what went wrong, did a lot of data analytics where we were going wrong. But today, having said that, there is so much of information availability in the system, which was not there earlier. So earlier, not to take away from, but bad elements are everywhere, whether in business or in everywhere. So people who used to do a lot of hanky-panky things, today it's very difficult for them to do because he says my turnover is 20 crore. I have the data available from the source GST, whether you are 20 crore or not. He tells my balance sheet is profitable. I draw it from the ITR. I know. So much of information is it the CIBIL data or any credit bureau information availability is there, which will tell me your repayment track record is what. How's your credit history? And over and above that, now there are so many fintechs that have come up, which will give me GST analytics, which will give me. So it will tell me your business is diversified or not, your customer base is diversified or not, your supplier base is diversified or not. So taking all those inputs, I think underwriting skills have gone. That's the only, I will say, one of the major factor which has helped us in actually being able to do better quality business. And with that, what happens is our energies are not diverted towards recovery or follow-up. That helps us doing more.
Strengthening your
doing more. That's how. So this is how we are trying to build up. And despite COVID, we have grown.
This one, so COVID time you have grown with a big way.
Yeah,
That's
but
very
COVID time, of course, one reason I can share in this was the ECLGS. So because of that ECLGS, we grew. But our ECLGS loans are also not bad. That is the way we have.
But you are not empowered to take ECS loan. It's only for working capital.
No, they were for restarting. So whatever limit they had with us, whether it was term loan, whether it was working capital, whatever 10% of that was to be given, then another 10% was given. So government in phases changed, continued to change it. But it was not for working capital only. It was for to be used for working capital to restart their operations. But the limits, whether it is term loan or the working capital, were taken as base to calculate how much money you have to give. That was the next. This is about our direct finance operations I've already spoken about, and we also have schemes for SC/ST entrepreneurs and for women entrepreneurs, where we are lending with a little bit of concessional rate of interest, not very much, but by I think, kitna hai Aditya, 50 PPS?
Yes, sir.
50 PPS less. So 0.5% less than the normal rate. So this is to encourage. And today we have partners like Google also, who are using their CSR funds to deploy in MSME sector because of the goodwill that we enjoy in that. And they have given us 200 crore, which we've already deployed in the market. For
It's
again
CSR can do.
Yes.
CSR fund for MSME.
for MSME lending.
Through
So they are not charged.
Once you lend, you don't charge them.
No,
Charge.
they don't charge money.
They don't charge. There's a
They don't
CSR
charge.
fund.
They charge some very flat 2% interest.
Oh, Google.
Google.
Huh.
We lend on a commercial rate.
I
How
see.
much you get from CSR funds?
So we don't use all funds are CSR funds. What we are supposed to do is CSR only. And look at it. It's supporting MSMEs, doing skill development, entrepreneurship, creating entrepreneurship, venture capital system,
Seed capital, all of that.
seed capital, everything. I'll come to it. So everything that we do is CSR, but today we are putting out of our own funds roughly around 300 to 400 crore every year into all the developmental activities. That is the way we function. So next. This is our about startup ecosystem. As you were talking about, we handle a 10,000 crore corpus right now given by Government of India, where we are funding the alternate investment funds. We are not directly funding to the VC fund. So we are funding the AIFs. AIFs in turn support the startups. So if you look at 86 AIFs, we have already given them commitment of 7,200 crore. In 2021-22, it has grown up to 111 AIFs, and it has further gone up. You name the AIF in this country, and I think they would have taken funds from SIDBI. And till now, they have supported around 855 startups. If you look at 35 of more them already, 23 have become unicorns, and 35 are unicorns. Employment generation is 2.4 lakh crore. But this is an area where we are very, 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 bullish. We are not only into the Series A, Series B levels. We are getting into the pre-seed stage. So today with IIMs, IITs, all premier institutions where they have incubator setups, we have made commitments to them, and we already have MOUs and agreements with them where we have told, identify the startups where you want to, so they will have the technical evaluation, and we will give pre-seed capital up to 2 crore rupees into those. So because these pre-seed capital is very difficult. If you look at the startup ecosystem, pre-seed is very difficult, and then the next stage is Series A, which is very difficult. Otherwise, the money keeps coming. Both the places. So pre-seed stage is where we are getting, and in Bangalore we have already signed MOUs with Bangalore and IISc, and with RV College, RV University, and all over India with IIM Lucknow, IIM Shillong, IIM Jammu, then IIT Kanpur, IIT Chennai, IIT Mumbai. So all
Is a grant, is it?
So it's not a grant.
No,
It's an investment.
It's the seed capital.
It's loan, but they give you loan.
It's not a loan. It's not a grant, it's an equity investment.
Work along with this, no, okay.
But you are giving it to a AIF or some
No, AIF,
incubation center.
AIF is not an incubation center. AIF is a venture capitalist.
Okay,
So it's
Then
a
maybe-
venture fund which will invest into startups.
okay.
By way of equity or by way of any other instrument, they will invest into startups. So we give those funds money to invest in this.
No, but in case of IIT,
Uh,
you give say 2 crores to whom?
The startups. IITs will be running their incubators. Incubator means where
They
people
got
are,
incubation center.
yeah, so they will, those companies which are getting incubated there, once they have either in the research stage, pre-seed is the research stage when they are developing their product. At that point of time, nobody except for DPIIT giving some 15 lakh rupee or 20 lakh rupee as grant, no other money is coming to them. So that's the place where we are saying we will take some equity. You will have a skin in the game, I will have a skin. So some part of the equity has to be taken by IISc or the IM, and some part of the equity we will take, and very small equity we will take. But that will result into them getting around 2 to 3 crore rupees to make their product commercial.
So instead of directly lending to the startups,
Mhm.
instead of directly lending to the startups, it is being lent through AIFs,
AIFs.
through incubation centers. And sir, when the loan, I mean,
We do direct lending also to startups.
okay,
It's not lending, direct investment in startups.
startups. Okay.
Lending also we do because we've just started doing venture debt also. But that we do through our subsidiary, which is called SIDBI Venture Capital Limited.
Okay, fine. So the loan lent to startups through SIDBI Venture Capital, that is related to linked to the MCLR, or there is certain.
It's not a loan, sir.
It's
It's
an
an
equity.
investment.
Investment,
So it has got no coupon rate.
It is no coupon.
There's no coupon rate. It is when the new fresh investor
Not a debt
come in or they go for an IPO, we will make an exit.
So you make money more than.
Yeah.
That's the way this.
Exactly.
This will, because out of 20 of startups, only one will succeed. So I have
Absolutely.
to make money from that one.
Yes.
Be able to
Agree.
invest into balance others.
Yeah, one good heartening thing is you have 23 startup unicorns.
Unicorn also.
Quite a significant percentage of the total. But you don't know how do you identify unicorns?
So
You have made a lot of
Now-
money there.
now this is a very means what I'll say is a question where I will not be able to respond to it because I'm not into that ecosystem. So if you want somebody session on startup, I will arrange for that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so the team which is handling it,
Yeah.
who have a better information and better knowledge of how these things are done. So
Yeah.
I think it's better we get them, so they will be able to explain it better. We'll arrange for it.
And sir, for non-fund based facilities, is it required to give 100% guarantee?
We do not have any, we do not do much of non-fund based,
Okay, non-fund.
non-fund based. We basically
But
fund.
even if some non-fund funding is there,
Yeah.
so will the bank ask for 100% guarantee?
So we not have, we take full security.
Full security.
So whether it is in the form of land building or we have machinery, we already have assets with us,
Yes.
but we'll have it fully covered.
Okay, sir. For example, sir, if a borrower is having
Take
a,
it offline.
yeah, definitely.
Because there'll be people there, no, they'll have questions.
Yeah.
It's a hybrid.
Yeah, so next. I'll just expedite because so green initiatives are there. We are now getting
Very good.
into heavily into
Energy.
EVs and energy. Our this year target is to fund 2,500 solar rooftop projects, which will go up to 2 gigawatts of solar power. So that is we are global climate GCF accredited. Only 2 agencies, 2 financial institutions, NABARD and SIDBI. And 5 of the projects are under development. And we have vowed to become carbon neutral by March 2024. So that is the way, as an organization, we are internally also we are trying to be like that. Mysore is my first branch in India where we got a green certificate. It's a green branch. Our Bangalore branch also we are now converting into a green branch. So maybe another 1 month we will be a green branch here. I think today all over India 7 branches are already green in SIDBI, and so And again, on the EV front, we are doing a lot of, especially on the battery technology, and we are working with a lot of MSMEs who are into this space. Next, and we have a vertical which is one full vertical which is dedicated to initiatives, economic environment friendly initiatives. Prayas program we have already spoken. This also we have already spoken, so we can move to the next one. Cluster development, yes, this is again a fund given by Government of India. We got 7,000 crore from RBI. So we committed it fully to 19 states and UTs, where all kind of cluster development, social or infrastructure, where it is related. And this is where we even fund if the government is interested in making a hostel for women in a industrial area, or laying of roads, laying of bridges, everything, whatever they want to do, government, we come up with that, and there's a very soft loan for them. In Karnataka, we've done a project where we have given them 600 crore under this fund, and it is for renovation of 150 government ITIs. And with those renovation, what all these ITIs today have is all modern machines. So
they run down.
Yeah. So they are more skilled and ready for coming into the modern manufacturing practices than earlier they were in ITIs working on the traditional lathe and all that. So that is changed. So all these 150 ITIs have been totally revamped with the fund. So similarly, we are working with various states. Cluster development part that we do. Next. These are development initiatives where what we do in entrepreneurship promotion and skilling, enterprise creation, and innovation. We'll run in startup development challenges. Yes. So getting into the last mile to the lowest of the beneficiaries, tribals, rural women, rural artisans, and we create entire ecosystem for them, including getting them market linkages. So we are working with, if you've heard of ONDC. ONDC is also promoted by SIDBI. It's promoted by government. We have a 10% shareholding in that, but we are working very closely with them. And
it's growing.
Yeah. So we brought roughly around 3,000 artisans on that platform for the e-marketplace. And ONDC, the good thing about ONDC is, unlike Amazon, Flipkart, the charges are very low. So that way,
they charge up to 20 to 25%.
Yeah, so that's ONDC is bringing a revolution, but it is taking time.
But it's starting growing.
It started growing. All those things, if you want any presentation of ONDC,
on that point again.
So we will get the ONDC team and
We had a session.
We had a
session already.
Okay. Who was there? Actually, okay. So if at all we require, we'll manage that. So Swavalamban, we also run Swavalamban challenges where we allow entrepreneurs to come and give their ideas. And if they are successful, then we get them extensive training in premier institutions like IIMs or premier universities. This is we are doing at every. We have started Swavalamban Connect Kendras, where Swavalamban Connect Kendras are like very small facilitation centers in the hinterlands of the country. So smaller places where they will do skill trainings, they will do facilitation, Udyam registrations, they will do the state certifications, everything. So whatever we do, we work very closely with the industry associations also, like discussing with Kaskia. We are running a program here at all the 31 districts of Karnataka for financial literacy. Similarly, we are very closely associated with it.
Shishir Joshi.
Kaskia right now.
No,
it is
ONDC.
ONDC, Shishir Joshi.
Can I speak related to this? See, BCIC, we are proposing to start a management training program. It's a kind of an MBA. It was stretching over 2 years. Basically to train up managers, equivalent to a general manager in a SME, who can really take over the institution, take over a unit and run it and relieve the owner from the day-to-day administration. This is an issue. There's no such program in the country as of today. We are tying up with 2 or 3 MBS schools to come up with the delivery part of the whole thing in terms of curriculum, pedagogy and all that thing. And also tying up with institutions like ASIA, AIA, etc. And in West End Hotel, I think Mr. Raman was briefed on this.
Okay.
And I think you were there next to him, and he suggested, the Bangalore, Mr. Rastogi can be involved in this.
Yeah, we'll be,
And
we
we would be happy if we
will be
can.
happy to associate with you.
Yeah.
I have a kind of a program.
Next meeting, we can invite him. It's also close by.
Yeah.
You bring the industry experts and
Yeah.
we'll take care of supporting it financially.
Academy and
You would
industry
like-
we take
Yeah,
care.
you take care of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we would like you to involve, we would like you to attend a few meetings at a formative stage. And then give a shape to the whole thing in terms of, I believe you have assisted a similar program of Jackson's in
We've done with
Sarjata or something.
Bharati University.
Vishwabhat University. You have provided about-
Jackson's is a.
Correct.
Done with.
About 60 lakhs you had given.
Yes.
So similarly, we were wondering if you can support this program.
We have.
We'll take it from, I think.
So with
Thank you.
ST Sai, I have already told this rides on the Open Credit and Enable Network. It is like a set of APIs on with that, and with use the account aggregator framework also. And based on that, this GST Sai app is working. It is an invoice discounting platform. 8 major banks and NBFCs already developing their own white labeled apps using the same framework. RBI is already given go ahead for the commercial launch. FitRank, I've already spoken. Now we are also working on information, because there's a lot of information asymmetry in terms of what are the underlying loan assets of each NBFC and MFIs. So we are working using blockchain technology. We are working on creating a repository, which is Security Information Exchange, so that it will become easier for banks and NBFCs to understand what are the underlying assets and whether multiple loans are not given against the same asset. Yeah. That's what we are working on. We are also working on, we have our publications, monthly publications with monthly or quarterly, I think was MSME Pulse. We collaborate with CRISIL, we collaborate with SIBIL. We are also collaborating with Digital Lenders Association of India for coming out with these publications. We are also working on a platform. So today we talk about that there are 7 crore MSMEs in this country. But if you look at Udyam registrations done, there are roughly around only 1.3 crore registered entities. We have started with the Ministry of MSMEs a program, and this is once again using technology to formalize all the balance 5.7 crore MSMEs, which are there, which are not Udyam registered. So this, we take the information from banks, NBFCs, MFIs, and then with that, we are now making them Udyam ready. Because most of these entities do not have GST and PAN. And for Udyam registration, those are two. Whatever KYC information is available with them and the financial information available, based on that, we have developed an algorithm with the MSME ministry, and they have given us a go ahead. Already, I think yesterday we've added 1 crore entities already who have become Udyam registered, who are Udyam ready. And our target is to end up with 2 crore by March 24 and balance to 3-4 crore more by the end of March 25. That is what we've been doing as an organization, which is not only into lending. Lending is a part of it. Lending is important, but we are doing so many other things. We are a nodal agency for any subsidy, any kind of initiative that is taken by Government of India. So whether it is credit linked capital subsidy or technology upgradation fund, initially the government used to use us only. Now that everything, even government has gone digital, so they have become direct. But still, nothing happens without taking SIDBI's input and making SIDBI as the implementing agency. If you've heard of PM Swanidhi and PM Vishwakarma scheme, you don't know, PM Swanidhi is a scheme where government is providing very small loans to street vendors, starting from 10,000 rupees urban, and PM Vishwakarma is for the carpenters.
It's all like
So PM artisan. So PM Swanidhi was launched in 2020, 2021, I think, 2020. PM Swanidhi was launched in 2020, and we were the technology partners. We have developed the entire portal for Government of India, and today 75 lakh street vendors have got benefited. It is starting from 10,000 rupees. Maybe all the vendors here have also got it. So the first assistance starts from 10,000. If they repay it fully, then goes to 20,000, then goes to 50,000. And more than 2 lakh street vendors in the country have gone to the third stage.
Who gives the loan? You give it directly?
Banks. We don't.
Banks.
We have developed the portal.
banks are using them.
Just type PM Swanidhi on Google, go and see the portal. So the entire portal and the entire process of lending happens on that portal only. And everything has been developed by SIDBI. The entire infrastructure has been developed by SIDBI. Similar thing we are doing for PM Vishwakarma scheme also. So that is where we are engaging with the government, and government is also riding on our. But what is important is that as an institution, we have been very fleet-footed. We've tried to pick up the threads. We've tried to move with times. We've not remained in the past.
Continuously.
We don't live in the glory of past. We believe that our top management, right from chairman to senior management, everybody is well versed with the modern lending practices. Everybody is very flexible. Everybody wants to learn. Everybody wants to use the whatever channel and resources available in the country. We don't believe in, we know that we can't do everything ourselves. We have to ride on the competence of each and everyone who is into this field.
Very nice. Yeah.
So that's what we do. Next. This is financial highlights basically. So if you can see, our balance sheet has grown from 1,92,000 crore to 4,02,000 crore in FY23. We are 4,60,000 crore plus now. Our income 11,000 crore to 18,000 crore. Next. So this is our net profit. Of course, in FY22, profit has gone down a little bit, but FY23 made a profit of 3,300 crore. And our EPS was 58. Next. This is return on asset, return on equity, and ROCE.
When are you going to be listed?
Yeah. When are you going to be listed?
I don't know. I'm not. I don't think we are planning a listing or something.
IREDA is done yesterday.
We are not planning it.
Today.
But we have asked the government for 5,000 crore as a rights issue. If the government says if the shareholders say we don't want to give it, go to the public, then we may require to go. But if shareholders want to give the money on the rights issue, which I don't think they will have any problem with SIDBI
Too small.
5,000 crore is nothing. Too small and plus AAA rated company. Yes. Yeah. Next. So this is our subsidiary network. Next slide. Our XIL and trades. So if you have a look at it, we started trades in FY19, and from we've gone up to number of invoices, which has gone up to 33 lakh. Discounting so much, and we have also ourselves started discounting invoices on this. on the TREDS platforms, not only on our own TREDS platform, but other three TREDS platforms also. And we already command a 4% market share, SIDBI, not the TREDS. TREDS, though it is one of the four, it has a 20% market share, RXIL. But across the TREDS platforms, we command now a 4% market share. Next. Digital lending platform, PSB loans. You have 21 partner banks there. Loans and PSB loans, that PSB loans in 59 minutes, their loans are up to 5 crore are given. Next. Trade guaranteeing fund trust. This is CGTMSE. So MSME, the bilateral fee loan up to 5 crore. Total fund size has gone up to 16,500 crore, out of which 20% is SIDBI's. So around 3,000 crore is given by SIDBI and balance government of India. And it is operating the credit guaranteeing scheme for banks and NBFCs. If you look at 4.19 lakh crore cumulative guarantee has been given. 70 plus lakh beneficiaries have been there, out of which 21%
Can we have some time for question answers?
Yeah, sure. So this is how CGTMSE has gone. If you look at the guarantees, next, just moving. And we also have the National Credit Guarantee Trust Company, which is also run by us. The entire ECLGS program has been managed by across the country, across the industry. The entire ECLGS program has been managed by NCGTC. The 5 lakh crore COVID guarantee that everything government come over, 5 lakh crore is totally entirely digitally managed by.
No collaterals.
No collaterals. Okay. So this entire program has been managed by SIDBI only. These are subsidiary. Next. Mudra is another subsidiary which is for smaller loans up to 10 lakh. And this is the way Mudra is gone. Of course, Mudra is only a refinancing. Loans are given by banks. This is the performance. I think that's all we have about SIDBI. So,
Great, sir. Very elaborate presentation.
I think we've done so much progress over the years. I think communication, what SIDBI is doing.
that's what we've been discussing internally. And we have been telling our management that while we have our financial balance sheet, let us stop.
Exactly. I have found that
while we are doing so much, the information about us in the industry is very less. So what we do, people do not know.
Up chupa Rustam.
The question.
Sir, there is a one of the issues which I had discussed with you was large industries, large companies, when they bid for projects outside India, 100 crores. Exim Bank is there to fund a lot of things. There's a funding the buyer or seller or the bank, or a lot of options are available. But for SMEs, there is no institution available to fund the exports, particularly for deferred exports, 50% or 60% or something like that. So I had talked to you and you had suggested you talk to Exim Bank. We had a chat with her and nothing has come out as such. Would you be able to, you said, they have a proposal to start a window for SMEs.
Already started the MSME part of it.
No, there was no mention on that. So would you be kind enough to take up and then get the initiative?
We will write to us.
Yeah.
We'll maybe from officially also we'll write to Exim Bank or the government to take this.
See, for example, when we export to cross, we are not able.
One question from Mr.
Yes, Tamanna Gowda, please go ahead.
Hi, sir. This is Timana. I'm a startup. I'm an MSME. I qualify for all of that. We've been able to take CGTMSE scheme 1 crore from Axis Bank in after first year of balance sheet. What I see is the banks are very reluctant to lend under CGTMSE scheme. They say the balance sheet should be profitable, which you can't expect from startups or like I'm a fintech also. Second is they are not releasing this 5 crore, 10 crore under startup CGTMSC scheme. You know, it's not yet to be operational. It's more than a year after announcement. We're coming to the next budget. But when I go to the bank, this our operational guidelines are still not in place.
Okay.
There is no actually awareness. I want to create see awareness coming from BCIC because I'm part of the BCIC also. But I'm hearing all my startups very desperate that they push back saying that no, it is not available to you. What is your opinion on what is happening around you?
Obviously, about CGTMSE, because we are doing our up to lending up to 5 crore, but if the banks are not doing, I think we will take it up. I will convey it to my counterpart in CGTMSE, but it is for the banks to take up. So, right, that is between the banks and the government. SIDBI has no control over that. We run the scheme, but anybody who is operating will have to do it on their own.
Because when we saw that, when the scheme says if you have a purchase order, which is like you can build, deliver something, you can come under CGTMSE, but they're asking for a profitable balance sheet, you know, which will not happen for first 1 to 3 years. You know, like we have good orders on hand and we can deliver. We have credible institutions buying from us. Even then, we are not able to get through these banks. Banks are not delivering the policy. What I meant is banks are just not showing us the policy. They're not delivering the policy. They're delivering beyond the policy.
Yeah, I got it. But banks also run within the ambit of the guidelines, which is provided by their board. So if what kind of guidelines they have is something that is, each individual bank has its own policies. We'll have to have a look at, they will have to have a look at it. Otherwise, this is a fact that banks are looking only at profitable balance sheets. I think that's because everybody is assessing risks and everybody wants the money to come back. And one of the major factors behind is that if you have a profitable balance sheet, the faith of the banks is much more into giving you money. But for a startup, I think it's an investment of the venture capital route, which is better way of looking at things.
No, but it's guaranteed up to 70-75%. It's guaranteed under the guarantee fee. You know, the taking a 20-30% risk. If they don't know how to take a 20-30% risk, then they don't know what's the risk.
With the guarantee also, nobody would do an underwriting just because there is a guarantee available. Because everybody would like the money to come back. If the money doesn't come back, then how do they lend it again? See, they have to make money has to come back. Then it is available for other industries to take it again. Otherwise, it will get written off. So just because there is a guarantee, nobody would lend. There is an underwriting process. There are certain guidelines which will have to be followed, and then only they can lend. So this, I think, as a startup, I would suggest that you look at the venture capital route or the PEVC.
Yeah, but there are good revenue models. There are purchase orders. The something to be bought, something to be developed, something to be delivered. Credible buyer.
I think you should meet Mr. Rastogi separately. I think.
Yeah.
So please connect with my team offline.
Yeah,
so that would be. They would be able to.
Better, yeah. We'll have much more better discussion.
Yeah.
Thanks, God. These are part of the BCIC.
So, do you have any separate fund for startups and MSMEs?
Our total startup funding is for MSMEs only. So even these AIFs, they can invest only in MSME. What fund they take from us, they can invest only in MSMEs. They can't invest in large.
Sir, in BCIC, we are planning to start. For example, what we have observed, we have an award scheme for the startups, and every year it's a very enormous exercise. And what is discovered is almost about 95% of startups, they wind up, they die. Only 5% sustain for about next 2 to 5 years. We are quite exercised by the fact, 95%, what happens to them? Is it possible that we can come up with a scheme? Because basically they're entrepreneurs. We have to nurture the entrepreneurs. If they have failed for some reason or other, they're given a certain kind of support. finance is only one thing. There are a lot of other issues which we have to perfect. So given that situation, we are planning to come out with kind of a support system for the failed startups. So do you think, SIDBI can involve itself and find out how we can come up with a structure and system and how do we
some concept note kind of a thing. We'll always look at wherever it's possible, even see if somebody who has failed has not failed.
Yeah, for
forever.
life. Yeah, correct.
It's a venture which has failed.
But it can also include restructuring and interest subvention kind of thing. But
There's one question there. Please,
One question.
please raise your.
Chandra.
Chandra? You're muted, I think.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, go ahead now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Ravichandran, you can ask the question. You have raised your hand.
Okay. It was a good session, sir. So you were telling about the credit guarantee given to SMEs. So large corporates, they they have this vendor financing programs.
Yeah.
You also do the bill discounting without recourse.
Yeah, that's true. That.
Yeah, but some private banks are giving competitive rates, foreign banks especially. How does it compare? That is one. Second is on the guarantee scheme. Whether guarantees will be given to under the guarantee scheme to the big corporates buying from SMEs.
Which scheme you're talking about?
Guarantee scheme, credit guarantee scheme.
Credit guarantee scheme is for
Only for SMEs.
You availing working capital or a term loan from the bank.
Okay. Okay.
Credit guarantee scheme is not for your per se this invoice discounting.
Okay.
That is one. Secondly, as regards rates on these credit platforms, this is a bidding platform. Once your invoice is accepted by the large company and it's on the platform, banks come and bid there. So the rates are, see, anybody can go, any bank can go there and bid for it.
Yeah. Okay.
And there, some bids are won by private banks, some bids are won by foreign banks, some bids are won by the public sector banks. So based on their policies, the rates are all, everybody would come at some rate or the other equal kind of.
Okay.
I have
Jagadish. Time, you should check the time on that.
Hello.
Jagadish, yeah.
Sir, Jagdish from VNIR Biotechnology. We are a small MSME in the biotechnology sector. So is there any schemes which are helping the CapEx fund, CapEx setup for the startups? So, you mentioned in this thing, they have to be profitable with the balance sheet and all. So that is one more person has also told the profitability may not come within a gap of 2 to 3 years. But however, being a manufacturing sector, so we need CapEx instruments, so which are part of our production as well as the quality control. So is there any scheme which supported by Government of India or Government of Karnataka or any government? Can you throw some light?
We ourselves do greenfield projects financing. So if you are interested, please link up with my team. We do greenfield projects, so we don't look at your past history. We are not looking at that but you should have some experience in the field that you are venturing into, or you should have the expertise for that. We'll take up the project. So please get in touch with us.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
there is a one.
I think an email address can be shared in the chat. Where they can reach out.
What?
For the queries.
Please, my email address, my mobile number, my Aditya's email and mobile number, you can take.
Then you can post.
You can post my email address and all. If will be even if you give, maybe many times I might miss.
Very close to
a general email. You can give the Bangalore branch email ID or the Bangalore RO mail ID because that helps because it goes to common mail ID so that people can attend to it. Because many times I might not be able to attend to it.
What?
I manufacture capital equipment. for bakery industry.
Okay.
We have customers across the whole country and we export also to outside countries. One of the problem most of our customers have is the finance. And they place the order, they give the advance and they don't lift the machine because the banks take enormous amount of time to give the loan and disburse the loan. So suppose, we approach you for a loan. Normally loan requirement is about 10 to 1 crore, 10 lakhs to 1 crore. So that, and the customers spread all over the country. So how do we go about if we need to approach, if you approach it? Can you approach just your branch here and then?
Approach the branch here. We have two more branches in Bangalore. So one is in Pinia. It's in the PIA compound itself. And we are opening one more in Electronic City. It will be by January. It's already functional. It was working from this place. But by January, they would be shifting there once the interior is done. We have 3 branches here. We have a branch in Mysore. We have a branch in Hosur. So anywhere you can approach depending on your location and your comfort.
Thank you.
So with this, we have come to the end. Please accept our small.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's fine.
Come. Let's go.
Any pop of SMEs.
Not my Bob of SME, I think the partner of MSME.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The coffee tea we are serving also.
I think someone is asking for the phone number.
Please share my phone number. Anyway, my phone number is available on my website. My mobile number itself is available.
Email and you can.
My email is also available. My mobile also available in the contact us segment. You go to Bangalore Arrow, my name, email, mobile number, everything is available.
Yeah.
We'll circulate it and I would request Mr. Jairam to take the vote of thanks.
It's a very auspicious and a very good occasion to
Communication and
it is only what we knew from the papers was so little, hardly 2%, 5% of what you are doing. It was a great occasion for us to realize the kind of enormity of the work that you are doing. And we really appreciate the kind of work you have done and we also congratulate your promotion.
We'll let you circulate the next presentation of the everyone so that we don't communicate with everyone.
So all
It's too good.
public
Lot of
domain.
information.
Lot of information, very.
Very useful.
And this is our corporate presentation prepared by our central team. We use it everywhere.
So what do you have permission?
Please go ahead. Please circulate.
Would you be open to a suggestion where we, in case we require some help or the other, we throw it open and some MSMEs want some support from SIDBI. Can we direct them to you and
With our lecture.
You get the email and telephone. Yeah.
So we would like on behalf of BCIC as well as President, I would like to thank you very much for this session. And we would like you to keep coming more and more often. You are only next up.
Text platform also will be very useful.
So you want a text platform session? We'll ask Alexa team to handle. You can have it online, offline. If you want it offline, they have somebody here in Bangalore. So we can organize again. We can organize that here. And if you want it online, somebody from
We would also like you to grace our MSME committee meetings
Anytime, sir.
and particularly
It will
support
be
our
my
MBA.
privilege. I will learn from them. We will learn from them. No, sir, the fact is that without interacting with industry and industry associations, we will not be able to do anything.
Communication. Absolutely.
Unless and until we know the pain areas, what solution we can create for the MSMEs. And their pain areas are too many.
Sir, can SIDBI officials join our committees like MSME and
Somebody meetings you can join, sir, so that you can understand.
You can join as invitee. Sir, not as a permanent member. You can join as.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you everyone.
Meeting is adjourned.
Yeah.
Yeah.